I think it's safe to say that change is on my agenda. Change for good. And I embrace that and I enjoy that change. I don't fear it.
A breathtaking battle for royal power has officially erupted after author Tom Bower ignited a media firestorm, exposing the deeply fractured relationship between Prince William and Meghan Markle. Faced with the looming threat of losing her titles, Meghan refuses to compromise and instead launches a direct counterattack aiming squarely at the heir to the throne, with a calculated scheme designed to destroy his credibility. This no-holds-barred confrontation has thrown the entire palace into turmoil as fabricated smear dossiers and carefully orchestrated traps emerge, posing a direct threat to the future of the British monarchy. With royal honor hanging by a thread, a ruthless internal purge begins in an effort to unmask the traitor lurking in the shadows. Will Prince William manage to turn the tide in time to protect the throne from Meghan's alleged bid to seize power? And what final verdict will King Charles III deliver against the one accused of crossing the royal family's red line? Investigative author Tom Bower once again became the center of international media attention after appearing live on television to unveil explosive claims about the inner workings of the British royal family. Moments after the broadcast began, Bower bluntly declared before millions of viewers that Meghan Markle had used manipulative tactics to completely brainwash Prince Harry, causing him to turn his back on his own family. But he did not stop there. The veteran investigative writer also revealed what he described as a deeply concerning truth about the attitude of the next generation of royal leadership. According to his private sources, Prince William and Princess Catherine have never let down their guard. They have consistently viewed Meghan as a major threat, a dangerous figure posing a direct risk to the future and very survival of the British monarchy. Most notably, during this explosive broadcast, Tom Bower issued what he portrayed as a chilling warning about the palace's next move. He asserted that Prince William was far from sitting back and doing nothing. Instead, William had quietly instructed his legal team to prepare a highly detailed and exceptionally tough plan. According to Bower, this legal strategy was designed to strip Harry and Meghan of all of their current Sussex titles. William was allegedly prepared to activate this punishment immediately should Harry and Meghan stubbornly continue crossing the red lines that the royal family had drawn. Tom Bower's forceful revelations and uncompromising predictions immediately sent shockwaves through the media, driving tensions between the two sides to their highest point yet. As soon as Tom Bower's remarks spread widely across the media, Meghan Markle was unable to remain silent. Furious over the allegations, she immediately issued a strong public response in defense of herself. In her direct rebuttal, Meghan categorically denied every claim made by the investigative author. Instead, she loudly insisted that she was the true victim in this entire story. Meghan maintained that throughout her time as a member of the royal family, she had constantly endured cold treatment, isolation, and harsh ridicule and contempt from members of the monarchy. She firmly rejected the accusation that she had manipulated or threatened anyone arguing that such claims were nothing more than stories fabricated by the media. Who will Meghan target next with her attacks, and how will William respond to these accusations? Amid her growing fury, Meghan Markle did not hesitate to escalate the media confrontation to an even more dangerous level. She chose not to soften her words or hold anything back, instead directing her attack squarely at Prince William, making him the sole target of her public criticism. Meghan openly delivered a scathing accusation before the public, declaring, "William has always been the one who used his arrogance and the privilege that came with being the heir to the throne to do everything he could to oppress me from the very first days I entered the palace. He constantly created conflicts, stripped away, and controlled every legitimate right that my family and I should have been entitled to." This forceful statement was quickly picked up by major newspapers whose sensational headlines turned it into a direct assault on the moral character of the Prince of Wales. When these defamatory remarks reached the palace, Prince William felt that he had been outrageously slandered. He could hardly believe that Meghan would so brazenly twist the truth, portraying the royal family's long-established rules and boundaries as acts of personal oppression. William's anger reached its peak as he watched his own honor and the reputation of the crown being severely tarnished by what he viewed as blatant falsehoods. Rather than remaining silent, as he had on previous occasions, William decided to act immediately to set the record straight. He personally drafted and sent an official email to Meghan's private inbox to correct what he described as the complete truth. In the email, William wrote in an exceptionally serious and icy tone, firmly stating that every accusation she had made was an entirely baseless distortion, that neither the royal family nor he himself had ever deprived her of or denied her any legitimate rights, and demanding that she immediately cease what he called her malicious campaign of defamation. However, William's firm response did nothing to make Meghan back down. On the contrary, it served as the spark that prompted her to play the next card she had already carefully planned. In reply to his email of clarification, Meghan sent back an extraordinarily stern and cold ultimatum via email. Rather than attempting to explain herself or ease the escalating conflict, her message was filled with uncompromising demands that placed William in a position where he would have to choose. In her ultimatum, Meghan made it clear that Prince William was required to comply with a specific demand. He had to appear before the international media immediately and publicly declare that the relationship between herself, her family, and the British royal family remained entirely stable and positive, with no rift whatsoever, despite widespread speculation to the contrary. But Meghan did not stop there. The most significant and central demand embedded within her ultimatum concerned the future of her children. She insisted that William make a legally binding public commitment through the media, guaranteeing that all succession rights belonging to Meghan's children would remain permanently protected and would never be altered or stripped away by any legal strategy pursued by the palace. Meghan emphasized in her email that this represented her absolute final line. If William failed to meet these demands within the specified time frame, she would not sit back and watch her own titles come under threat. The emergence of this ultimatum officially pushed the relationship between the two sides into a breathtaking battle of strategy, where every possibility of compromise had completely vanished. How will Prince William respond to Meghan's defiant ultimatum, and what secret weapon will Meghan unleash next to threaten him? Faced with the unreasonable and blatantly coercive demands contained in Meghan's ultimatum email, Prince William firmly refused, categorically rejecting every condition she had laid out. The heir to the throne's cold refusal immediately triggered Meghan Markle's next offensive. Without hesitating for a single moment, Meghan promptly released copies of confidential documents that she had secretly prepared in advance, using them as weapons to threaten and pressure William into submission should he stubbornly continue pursuing his legal plan to strip her of the Sussex titles. Meghan attached the dossier to a message containing a direct and openly provocative declaration. "If you still believe your power is absolute and insist on driving me into a corner by taking away my title, then see whether these are enough to completely destroy your future crown. The choice is yours. Either preserve the royal family's reputation or stand beside me as we face the greatest media collapse in history." The black dossier Meghan sent contained what were portrayed as highly damaging and deeply defamatory materials aimed directly at the honor of the Prince of Wales. Inside the copied documents, Meghan had fabricated evidence accusing William of repeatedly using money and his position to bribe senior palace advisors in order to manipulate internal decisions and abuse his authority to conceal his own personal misconduct. Even more alarming and sensational was the final section of the dossier, which consisted of technologically manipulated composite photographs. These images had been carefully staged to create compromising camera angles depicting William engaging in intimate gestures that crossed professional boundaries with a female member of the royal household during private working receptions. The photographs were entirely fabricated, digitally altered, and deliberately distorted to manufacture a shocking adultery scandal that would strike directly at his marriage and destroy the image of the devoted family man that William had spent years building. Recognizing the extraordinary seriousness of the situation, Prince William became not only furious, but also acutely alert to the danger lurking within his own household. As he carefully examined the details, timelines, and locations of the private working receptions referenced throughout the fabricated dossier, William immediately realized a terrifying truth: there had to be an insider within the palace. Without someone leaking information from inside, Meghan, living thousands of miles away in the United States, could never have obtained such precise details regarding the royal family's travel schedules, guest lists, and confidential engagements. Those leaks had allegedly enabled her to fabricate documents and stage manipulated images. Whoever this traitor was had become a dangerous spy, hiding in the shadows day after day, while betraying the royal family's trust for the benefit of its perceived enemy. Determined not to surrender the initiative and fully committed to protecting the security of the palace, William immediately ordered a large-scale internal purge, launching a comprehensive and uncompromising review of every member of the palace staff without making a single exception. Under William's direct and stringent supervision, the royal security team re-examined the entire history of system access, reviewed archived external communication logs, and scrutinized the activities of every employee who had been granted access to confidential royal events. Through decisive action and rigorous investigative measures, William's team apprehended the alleged traitor before he could destroy the remaining traces of his communications. When the identity of the insider was finally exposed, everyone was left stunned. The alleged traitor turned out to be a former close associate of Meghan Markle, someone she had reportedly recruited, trained, and deliberately left embedded within the palace's personnel system after departing the United Kingdom, with the long-term objective of serving as her eyes and ears from within. After capturing the alleged traitor, how will William expose the true motive behind Meghan's scheme, and what evidence will be presented before the royal family's meeting? Following the intense internal purge, the capture of the alleged traitor in the act gave Prince William what he regarded as the decisive advantage. Through the interrogation and extraction of information from this alleged accomplice, William believed he had fully uncovered Meghan Markle's true intentions and the entirety of the dark scheme she had allegedly orchestrated in advance. It turned out that releasing the black dossier and the staged photographs was not merely an act of intimidation or ordinary blackmail. According to the account presented, Meghan's deeper and more calculated objective was to thoroughly smear William's reputation and destroy his credibility in the eyes of both the public and senior members of the royal family. By dismantling the image of the heir to the throne, she allegedly sought to trigger a profound crisis of public confidence in the Prince of Wales, thereby paving the way for herself and Prince Harry to return to the British royal family with unquestioned legitimacy. According to William's assessment, Meghan believed that once William became engulfed in allegations of abuse of power and infidelity, his standing would suffer a devastating blow, creating a significant power vacuum that she allegedly calculated would become the perfect opportunity to bring Harry back into the royal family, consolidate influence, deepen divisions within the institution, and intervene more directly in the monarchy's internal decision-making. Even if her ultimate plan to gain the highest level of influence failed, she was said to have prepared a practical fallback objective. She allegedly intended to use the prestige and status of the royal family as a lifeline to rescue and revive her personal brand and business ventures in the United States, which she believed were in freefall and approaching bankruptcy after a series of highly publicized media setbacks. Meghan was allegedly attempting to force the royal family into making concessions, continuing to provide financial support and using the prestige of the monarchy to restore her public image overseas after much of the public had turned against her. Enraged by what he viewed as a deeply malicious scheme that posed a direct threat to both the survival of the monarchy and the well-being of his own family, Prince William decided that he would tolerate no further provocations. He concluded that without delivering a decisive and overwhelming response, Meghan would continue employing what he regarded as these underhanded tactics to harass the royal family. Acting without delay, William arranged for the alleged insider's detailed testimony to be recorded in full, documenting the individual's account of receiving instructions from Meghan, the methods allegedly used to leak confidential information, and the process by which the fabricated dossier was supposedly created. This audio recording became what William regarded as irrefutable evidence, directly exposing what he believed to be the true face of his sister-in-law across the Atlantic. Immediately afterward, William personally presented all of this key evidence, including the recorded testimony of the alleged traitor, the archived external communication logs, and the copies of the threatening documents that Meghan had allegedly sent before an emergency meeting of the royal family. The meeting was attended by the senior members of the monarchy, led by King Charles III himself. Standing before his father and the assembled members of the royal family, William openly recounted the entire sequence of events from the moment he received the threatening email to the capture of the alleged insider within the palace. As each clear and detailed statement from the recorded testimony echoed through the royal meeting room, the atmosphere grew heavy and suffocating with tension. The alleged truth about Meghan's ambitions to gain power and her purported campaign of defamation now stood fully exposed before everyone present, leaving in William's view no remaining opportunity for denial or concealment. What ultimate punishment will King Charles III and the members of the royal family decide upon for Meghan after witnessing all of this explosive evidence? After Prince William presented what he regarded as overwhelming evidence during the emergency royal family meeting, an unsettling silence fell over the room. As the members witnessed what was described as the full extent of the alleged scheme involving fabricated defamatory documents, an embedded insider, and Meghan Markle's purported ambition to seize influence, King Charles III was overcome with fury. The king's face reflected profound disappointment, mixed with a level of anger unlike anything seen since his accession to the throne. He found it unimaginable that his daughter-in-law, living overseas, could allegedly resort to such underhanded and dishonorable tactics to attack her husband's elder brother while posing what he viewed as a direct threat to the stability and future of the monarchy. King Charles III's anger reached its peak when he concluded that the royal family's patience and willingness to show restraint had only emboldened Meghan's ambitions. Standing before the senior members of the royal family, the king spoke in a firm voice that trembled with anger, yet carried unmistakable authority, declaring, "The tolerance that both I and the royal family have shown that woman ends today. She has not only smeared my son's name, but has trampled upon the honor of this monarchy through deception and disgraceful falsehoods. Anyone who plants an insider to undermine the palace plots to bring down the heir to the throne in pursuit of power and seeks to exploit the prestige of the royal family for personal profit has absolutely no right to bear the titles of the British royal family." The king's declaration echoed throughout the meeting room, shattering every remaining possibility of forgiveness and making it unmistakably clear that a red line had been crossed and that the person deemed responsible would face the consequences. At that pivotal meeting, after expressing the full extent of his outrage, King Charles III delivered what was portrayed as a historic decision intended to safeguard the dignity of the crown. He announced that he would personally exercise the authority of the monarch to strip Meghan Markle of all Sussex titles. The king emphasized that this legal action should be carried out swiftly, thoroughly, and decisively during his own reign well before the future transfer of the crown to Prince William. Charles declared that he intended to resolve what he viewed as this threat once and for all, removing every remaining obstacle and media controversy associated with Meghan, so that his eldest son could one day inherit a monarchy that was stable, secure, and no longer vulnerable to alleged campaigns of blackmail or defamation. This stern and uncompromising verdict from King Charles III became the decisive blow that, according to the narrative, brought Meghan Markle's ambitions to a permanent end. The loss of her royal titles would not only remove her from the royal family in humiliating fashion, but would also destroy her alleged plan to use the prestige of the monarchy to rescue her struggling personal brand and business ventures in the United States. Every fabricated document and every manipulated photograph that Meghan had allegedly prepared as leverage was now rendered powerless in the face of the detailed testimony given by the captured insider. The door to returning to the British royal family, alongside Harry in pursuit of influence, was portrayed as having closed forever before the ambitious woman leaving behind nothing but complete defeat and the total rejection of the British monarchy. How do you feel about the actions of the characters and the dramatic twists throughout this storyline? In your opinion, what deeper lesson or meaning does this entire battle of strategy offer about trust and the pursuit of power? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click on the next video appearing on your screen. You'll enjoy it.